class, we learned about Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Kohlberg's theory has 3 levels: the pre-conventional, the conventional, and the post-conventional. The pre-conventional level is when the person has an egocentric view towards morals and societal laws. The conventional level is when the person focuses on conforming to the laws and rules of authority figures and of society. The post-conventional level is when the person is more concerned with what outcome will cause the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people, meaning society. However, they also have the ability to determine which laws can be broken and bent according to their own moral authority. I would now like to apply Kohlberg's theory to a real-life situation, including my job. I would like to start this example by saying that this is only a hypothetical situation and this does not involve real patients. The situation would be where a patient were to come in for their treatment. Normal time, they always come in, when we have dialysis patients, they always come at the same time, 3 times a week most likely. So the patient comes in and they're teary-eyed and they say to me, I just found out that my sister was in a horrible car accident and she's in the hospital and I need to go right now. Is it possible for me to reschedule for the next day? Now this brings up a couple problems. One, the doctor's orders specifically state that this is their treatment day and they should be there for that day to get their treatment. And 2, we have a jam-packed schedule the next day and it's going to be hard for the staff to fit that patient in. But when we think about it, we have to think what's best for the patient and that patient's family. And so in this situation, we would have to do that. We would have to make it so that the patient would come in the next day because it's the right thing to do. Even though technically there's a doctor's order in place and that's what we're supposed to follow all the time, situations like that, you have to step outside of those rules and say, well, sure, that's what the law and that's what the rules say, but is that really the right thing to do in this situation? In this situation, no, it is not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to get that patient to see their family members, be there, and then have them come the next day. This will help for several things. First of all, the patient can be there with their family. When they come in the next day, maybe things will be better. If things were worse, let's say the patient's sister passed away and we made that patient stay and that patient didn't get time with their sister beforehand and didn't get to be with the family beforehand because they had to be there for their treatment, then they're going to resent the whole staff as part of that, and they're going to hate their dialysis. It's just going to make things much worse. Also, while it will be harder for the staff the next day because it'll completely mess up their schedule and it might make it more difficult, it'll make it easier for the staff in the long run because actually that patient will have a better rapport with the staff from that time on and will have a better feeling about their dialysis. May not be negative, whereas the other situation they would come in negative, they might be more positive and see the staff as somebody they can trust. So that's really important when you're having these patients come in all the time. So in this situation, if I was applying Kohlberg's theory, this would be the post-conventional way of thinking. If I wanted to be, conventional, then obviously I would say, well, no, you have to come in. Those are the rules, sorry. And even pre-conventional, I might be selfish and say, well, no, we don't want to do that because that might make me late tomorrow and I don't want to do that. So that's just a couple examples of Kohlberg's theory applied to a real life situation.